Hey guys, it's God's Comic Brad Stine, and I got a question for you. Are you a bigot? Do you hate free speech? I'm guessing all of you say no, no, no. And yet, is it possible you could be and not even know it? Do you think you could? Right down below you, is it possible for people to be not good and not even be aware? Let's talk about this on the next Brad Stine Has Issues. You guys are so lucky I'm alive. Today on Brad Stine Has Issues, let's try a little experiment, shall we? I want you to take a moment and imagine your favorite food. Now, since I can't hear your answer, and if I did, I would be in need of psychiatric assistance, and if you were answering me at your computer screen, you would be in the same boat. I'll choose a generic food many people might claim to be their favorite. Let's try pizza. Let's say you love pizza. Not just any pizza, mind you, but you love a thick crust pizza with extra cheese and extra mushrooms and pepperoni. Right out of the oven, hot and crisp, the cheese melting and stretching as you grab a slice that literally stays attached to the rest of the pizza as you pull your slice away, almost like it's holding on for dear life, giving itself one last moment of freedom before it's consumed. Now picture yourself biting into that amazing panoply of tomato, pepperoni, and cheese and mushroom flavors just exploding inside your mouth. Are you following me? Now, of course, if you have a different favorite food, just replace that in this thought experiment. Now, what if I told you I don't like pizza? All right. Would that make your enjoyment of it any less robust? Of course not. As a matter of fact, your love of pizza was never predicated on whether someone else liked pizza. And if the truth be known, the fewer people that like pizza, the better. It just left more slices for you. You see, all of us have a favorite food, and if pizza isn't yours, as I already said, just substitute whatever works for you. Tiramisu, or is it mitsu? You know what I'm talking about. Cheeseburgers, whatever. Now, as you imagine that cheesy slice of pizza and the fresh baked smell that goes with it, or whatever favorite food you landed upon, what if I told you that starting tomorrow, it will be illegal for you to eat pizza? Anyone found eating pizza will be fired from their job. You'll also be ridiculed. You'll be told that if you like pizza, and especially if you inform others that you like pizza, then it is clear you hate people that don't like pizza. Not only do you hate anti-pizza lovers, but because of your fondness for pizza, you're actually endangering the lives of others. So because of this reality, there's absolutely no tolerance given to you because of your choice. You see, I happen to love hot dogs. Not only do I love hot dogs, but my love of hot dogs supersedes your love of pizza. I insist you too must not only become a lover of hot dogs, but you must praise its virtues. You must insist that everyone you know become believers in hot dogs. And if you don't, you are clearly willfully blind and an existential harm to yourself, your children, and society as a whole. Oh, did I mention I also happen to be your boss? Since I've seen your social media posts about the virtues of pizza when I have made it clear that is strictly forbidden, then I have no choice but to fire you. From this day forward, your love of pizza cannot and will not ever be erased. It will follow you forever. For there is no forgiveness for pizza lovers. Okay, end of thought experiment. Now, let me ask you this question. Does that scenario sound far-fetched? It's a silly little metaphor about totalitarianism and control, but I wanted you to participate in this because by making the object either of your affection, point of view, or preference of something seemingly innocuous and subjective, it gives you a chance to bypass your presuppositions and confirmation bias and analyze what kind of a human being you actually are. Are you a human that allows for differences of opinion and value each person's autonomy to have completely different viewpoints than yours? Because when it comes to food preferences, it's easy to place it in the category of subjective taste, and you don't necessarily feel threatened by it. Matter of fact, if you're fairly normal and logical, it would seem difficult to imagine anyone could ever accuse someone of being evil simply based on their food preference. Thus, gives you permission to reward yourself with the virtue medal of the philosophy of live and let live. Can you even imagine a scenario where someone could condemn a pepperoni pizza lover of being evil? Obviously, it doesn't make any sense. And if anyone tried such an outrageous stunt, it would be pretty easy to categorize them as either a fanatical quack or, at a minimum, a dogmatic bully. Okay, are you comfortably settled in the reality that there is no human on earth that can morally stake a claim of accusing others that if their pepperoni pizza love is insensitive, evil, intolerant, or fascist? Then you have never seen fanatical vegans at work. Now, it's real simple to discount their dogmatism as over the top and sinister, mainly for the fact that most of us don't subscribe to that ideology. It's quite simple to place an extremely small group of people as irrelevant and foolish looking, because when a group is easily marginalized and discounted because their views are so extreme, we assume they will never catch on to the culture at large. Thus, in some way, it's easier to see them as the other and justify ignoring them, mainly because it doesn't affect us personally. But what happens when it does? What happens when they show up at the restaurants and begin to berate the meat consumers and throw blood on fur coats and chain themselves in front of a venue to make entry impossible, thus making the decision for you as to whether you can partake or not? What happens when they start calling you a murderer for eating meat and thus believe they have a moral obligation to do whatever necessary to end the slaughter and inhumane practice? What happens when you are denied and demeaned and judged and slandered and dehumanized? And most especially, what happens when suddenly, out of the blue, it becomes mainstream, and without a chance to debate or explore a healthy compromise, you find your life upended and controlled by a philosophy you not only don't ascribe to, but perhaps detest? Now, within the context of this exercise, you find that fanatical behavior is abhorrent and you shouldn't be allowed to be of influence in a free society. Then let me ask you this. What if I told you that you are those fanatics? What do I mean? Well, do you think those people think they are wrong in their behavior? No. Do they think they justify their behavior? Of course. Do you think that if their passion for their perspective is exposed as intolerant and bigoted and evil, as it self-appoints itself as judge and jury over those they abhor, they will apologize and humble themselves and ask for contrition? No. I'm a Christian and a conservative. If you are not, and you own the means of communication in society and have decided that I must be crushed, then there is no more room for debate. You are the fascist. You are literally the bigot. You are the Nazi. And yet, the more important question is this: do you have the maturity? Maybe more importantly, the human decency to see your prejudices for what they are? Are you able to humble yourself? Apologize. And actually join the rest of us that believe free speech is a God-given right. Your next decision will tell you all you need to know about yourself and what kind of human you actually are. Maybe you don't care, but maybe you should. It's your move. This is God's Comic, Brad Stine. And my friends, I couldn't say it enough, and with more passion. PC free is liberty. Hey, all my family, friends, and fans. It's God's Comic, Brad Stine. Thank you for your support. Please keep it up every single month that comes by. If you just give that little $5, $10, $25, whatever you've committed to, we can keep doing this. I'm telling you, if you believe in my ministry, you can help me make it happen. Folks, I will be out here doing the work, I promise you, but I do need your support. Thank you for being there. Don't give up on me. Share it with anybody else you might want to bring into the table that you think could be inspired by this. But let's do some damage for the kingdom while we're still here and God has still blessed us. It's still the greatest nation on earth. Let's see if we can keep it that way.